In this video, I'm going to share the story of how I made $372,000 in only 3 hours. I will never forget this because I didn't even realize what was happening at the time, and I had no idea what I was about to experience. Now make sure you listen to the end because I'm going to reveal exactly how this happened step by step and how you can replicate the exact same system. So let's flash back to 2020, around the start of COVID, when things started getting a little bit scary. Companies were very uncertain about the future. Were they going to be allowed to be open? Did they have to close? What was this going to mean for the economy and for their business? So everybody was super frightened, and I'm sure you were too. As businesses were starting to shut down, we lost about 30% of our recurring revenue in a 3-week span. And I can't blame the clients for wanting to constrict because they had no idea if they'd even be allowed to stay opened, let alone be able to invest in their growth. We had to think of a creative way to generate new revenue and a creative way to bring on new clients and something we hadn't done before. Many of our clients are in more old school businesses, right? We focus B2B, we work with a lot of manufacturers, as well as 3PLs, freight forwarders, a lot of things in the logistics space. We also work with commercial insurance and facilities services like commercial janitorial, commercial construction, anything in that realm. And most of our clients, especially pre-COVID, were all focused on generating business through relationships and through in-person events and networking, things like trade shows, industry events, chambers of commerce, things along those lines. Well, obviously, as America and the world were shutting down, those avenues were not going to be possible. You could not generate new business by going door to door or going to an event because events were canceled. And even as we were losing revenue very, very quickly and the entire company was getting nervous, we realized this was actually going to be a giant opportunity for us. Because all of these companies had all these budgets they had allocated for these in-person events, and they weren't going to be able to deploy that money, right? They weren't going to be able to go to those. They were going to be forced to adopt modern strategies, and we needed to be there to help them do that. It was just around this same time that I had just become an approved speaker for a pretty prestigious organization that I'm a part of. I was super excited to start giving these in-person speeches, and then COVID hit, and I realized that wasn't going to happen either. But it made me think of something. What if I could do some of these speeches virtually? Now, previously, this was kind of frowned upon and it wasn't common practice, but now this was going to become common practice as it is today, right? So I knew there was an opportunity there. And as part of the initiation process, I was going to have to give a free 3-hour speech to a group of business owners. So I said, I'm going to make this the best possible presentation I possibly can. I want to add a ton of value. These businesses are suffering. They don't know what to do next. And I want to help provide some guidance and expertise to make sure they can not only survive COVID, but they can thrive. So after a few weeks of preparation and countless hours put into making the best possible presentation I possibly could, the big day came. And the camera turned on and it was time to go. I remember being so nervous because I wanted to provide so much value. And the moderator turned it over to me, and I went for it. And it was 2.5 hours straight of just nonstop value, giving them actionable strategies, not just pie-in-the-sky concepts, but actionable strategies they could use to grow their business immediately. At the end, something really weird happened. They started kind of talking amongst themselves. I couldn't fully hear it because obviously the microphone was positioned in one spot, and I'm like trying to figure out what's being said over there. I'm getting extra nervous. And then one of the people stepped up and came forward and said, "Hey, we're talking here. Is there a way you could put together a training program for some of our key employees to teach them these actionable marketing strategies and actually lay out a plan so we can implement this?" I mean, this speech was phenomenal. We loved it, but we're going to need more help to make this a reality. The reality was I didn't have anything ready or prepared for them, and I think they knew this, but now I needed to go back to the drawing board and get something ready. I told them, absolutely, let me go back, figure something out, figure out a game plan, and put together some pricing, and I'll get back to you all. So I circled back up with my team. I laid out everything as a battle plan that would be required for someone to go from knowing nothing about marketing to deploying B2B marketing campaigns that get a strong return on investment. And I came up with a 7-week training program that I was calling the Level Up Business Academy that would allow everybody to achieve that goal. So I went back to the group and said, I have it figured out. This 7-week program that's going to transform anybody on your team into a marketing expert, or at least someone that could deploy campaigns that really do work and bring in new revenue. And the pricing is going to be $6,000 if you want to put one person from your team in the program, $7,000 for 2, just $1,000 a week, or $8,000 for 3. And I had no idea if that was high, low, or what they were expecting, so I just kind of sat there in silence and waited to see what people would say. I saw some nods. Nobody really gave me a ton of feedback, but they said send over the payment link where they could sign up, which we had already set up a page where people could sign up and select how many people they wanted to put in the program. And then we just kind of kept our fingers crossed and waited. Then, no more than an hour later, boom, an order came through. Another hour later, another order, another order. Over the next 72 hours, about $64,000 of revenue was generated and deposited into my account. Now it was game on. It was time to show up and help these people grow their business. And over the next 7 weeks, these people attended 2 live trainings a week where I provided actionable strategies and then answered their questions on a secondary call. It was such a fun experience, and I felt so grateful I was able to add value to so many people in such a short period of time. And then, at the end, something crazy happened, something I absolutely did not expect, where a couple people contacted me offline from these companies and said they were talking it over internally, and they were wondering if we could come into their business and help them execute these strategies over the next 12 months. And I was kind of surprised because I was like, well, I just taught you everything, so you obviously have the tools and strategies to do this, but I think what I didn't understand at the time was they had the knowledge, but they didn't have the expertise or experience. And they were looking for me and my team to help them deploy these strategies to make sure they did it right. So we came up with a scope of work and a plan to get them from A to B over a 12-month period. And 2 of the companies signed up. And those 2 contracts alone were worth over $300,000 of revenue. So all said and done, from that one 3-hour presentation, we generated over $372,000 of contract revenue. And I wanted to share this story not to impress you, but to impress upon you how important it is to add massive value to your clients and prospects even. See, many people get so scared that if they reveal their secret information or website or software, that the person is not going to want to hire them, that you're not going to get the business, when in fact, it's the exact opposite. If you're able to demonstrate an incredible expertise of a particular topic to a prospect, as well as adding a ton of value, the likelihood they hire you goes way up. Now you're probably wondering, did I do this again? Did I run another one of these speeches, presentations, and classes? And the answer is shockingly no. We got so busy after that period of time and the business took off in an upward trajectory, we didn't even have time to focus on that. But now, coming back to the drawing board and analyzing what has been the most profitable and most fun and most exciting part of the business, we decided to go back to this strategy, and that's what we're going to do next. I've also been speaking all across the country, in person and virtually, to add as much value as I can to as many business owners as I can. And if you're a B2B company, in any industry you can think of, there is low-hanging fruit available in this space. And I think that low-hanging fruit is a platform where you can put out your knowledge and expertise and influence your decision makers, influence the prospects that you want to influence. So if you're a B2B company, I want you to try to get in the mindset of an attention economy. All of your prospects have their attention being fought over by every single thing you could possibly think of. Their social media accounts, your competitors, their friends, their family, the news, everything's fighting for their attention. And they're consuming more content on a daily basis than our ancestors probably did in an entire year. Right? Think about how much input you take in on a daily basis. So we're in an attention economy. And to be able to capture the attention of your ideal prospects has never been more valuable than it is today. So I would urge you to think about starting a YouTube channel or booking some of these in-person speeches. It gives you the ability to become the expert in the room and to showcase your knowledge, expertise, and experience, and to help people. I hope this video has inspired you, and I promise I'm going to continue to deliver value. Our goal, actually, and you can help us achieve that, is to reach 100,000 subscribers over the next few years. I do believe that's possible, but not without your help, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. Promise it'll be worth it, because there's absolutely no cost, and I'll be dropping actionable strategies and stories to help inspire your journey and point you in the right direction. So I hope this was valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.